Howdy, and welcome back to the Chicken Police with Wickedstorm Gaming. Yeah, this place is about as creepy as you can make it. Shit's peeling off the walls. You got a cartoonishly creepy tree outside. Looks like a cardboard cutout of a creepy tree you'd buy for Halloween. And the worst part is that lamp behind him. I think I had that lamp when I was a little kid. With the spiral thing under it and shitty white lampshade. I feel like I had that lamp. And it makes this a little too real for me. Walls.
Your office is rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes.
I'm not sure why reptiles stink in this
I can't
world.
let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
Minimalist.
I see. That makes sense.
You think I'd at least paint the fucking walls, though?
Is this cell like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than this.
That room had like 6 O's in it.
Is this cell... Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal too, like all our residents.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient. Am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
Oh, good. Even the doctor's fucking nuts.
So escaping is impossible.
If I'd want to escape, I have the privilege of using the door.
Suddenly feel very trapped in here.
So
Why did Marty...
escaping is impossible.
If I'd want to
Why is Marty up front in that? Did somebody back up and was like, Marty, you know what? You go first,
Is
yeah?
this cell like
Oh, that's the same thing as the other one. All right. Hey, Dr. Quetzal, what's he look like?
snake? I can't help it, but they make my feathers stand on end.
As far as snakes go, he's kind of creepy.
I have a hard time bearing their proximity. My blood boils and my heart bangs. It's the primordial fear, they say. I have a hard...
All right, then.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
Well, I did call
an
ahead.
introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me. My name is Dr. Quetzal, but most call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken,
From the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
It tends to fucking happen.
We're used to it.
Yeah.
Certainly.
We have some questions
Just
about
checking
one
his
of your
fucking
patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
I keep smelling it.
Please be specific, detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand, I can't disclose information about my patients.
Why are you checking your watch when
Not
you say
even
this?
if it's a matter of life and death.
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, detective. This This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
This guy could not be creepier. Actually, he has some pretty thick shoulder pads on. Like, look, his arm goes up there. His shoulder is here. The shoulder pad is up here. Questions. Oh, joy.
I have a hard time.
All right.
So, what do you want to know, gentlemen?
Let's
I want to know if you
see.
actually talk like that, or if you're stretching your S's out just to fuck with me.
So,
All right. Straight to the questions, then.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
for quite some time, his first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Then
Why didn't
how
he
do you
call as soon as the guy
sustain
went
yourselves?
missing?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
Do you want to hit him up
wouldn't
for
have
some
guessed that.
new paint?
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
Need, I guess? Why didn't you call as soon as the dude went missing? Like, just... I can go straight to questioning? No.
How long was it? How long?
Oop.
What
There we
kind
go.
of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Cloville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long
Wait, is this
has
guy
you
the
been
king of
working
just
here?
the fucking
I've
city?
worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
Say to that, you might want to hit up the king for some paint. This place looks about as bad as you can make it while it's still standing.
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
Oh, dear.
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
This guy's spooky. This guy's spooky.
So,
I guess we'll talk to him. Let me double check the desk.
An isle of reason in a sea of insanity.
insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting questions. Am I normal,
No,
or are you?
probably not.
Maybe neither of us.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already here.
Marty, clock up.
Oh, Marty, lightening the mood
Very
as always.
busy.
I am.
Might be less busy if you talked a bit faster.
Are you very...
Just saying. Also, this is a really nice desk in contrast to everything else. All right, let's start the questioning.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
Okay, look for weird shit. Well, I only got one question. Oh, wow, we are starting way low. It's a real mystery, yeah.
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Both of
Could
them.
you describe that day?
Both of them.
More specifically.
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your
That's
first
not creepy at
impression
all.
of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He
He's a
was
famous
new
lover?
to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
I wonder if that's what drove him nuts.
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
What kind of special treatment?
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
Let's just lead straight into that.
If an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
It's just looking better and better for my switch places theory. See Albert when you first met. You think it's a together? How did Albert relate to you? Supposed to be looking for weird shit.
How did Albert relate to you?
Albert was immensely sophisticated and polite, so much so that his true emotions and thoughts could not be deciphered.
And that's why you thought of him as an exciting case.
That's right, Mr. Featherland. I see you're starting to get to know me in some way.
I'm just doing my job, Doctor.
You and me both.
Started to notice little details about this guy the longer I look at him. Like his tie is just ever so slightly off to the side. His collar don't quite line up. Just little dinky things just to put you off. Maybe?
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
Where the hell did you pull that from?
Out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Where the hell did that
Yes,
come from?
Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
No doubt.
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Quetzal's
a
not
gentle
only very
swing there.
observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
Repeat it again. Maybe I didn't hear it. To the details. When and why did Albert leave the institute for the first time? Just walk in and out. That's what I would be asking, but apparently we're supposed to be details. How can you let keeping something from me, are you right? Details. I'm thinking the top one.
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It
Specifics.
was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
You think they got ice cream or something?
Unusual for him.
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a painting for his brother.
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh, exactly.
Oh.
So you already knew about that.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
Ooh. Wasn't expecting that connection. Continue working on the painting? Tell how he felt about the painting. Tell you about his relationship with his brother. Oh god, these are all good. Relationship with his brother, talk about Natasha. Which one of these is the most specific? Top one again?
So Albert left on many
Maybe, I don't know.
occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself. And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
Cat.
Its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
Shit's starting
What
to make
exactly
sense.
happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I
Yeah.
mean. And Albert
Love that
was
they
in a
keep making that
terrible,
distinction.
Terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
Well, apparently he had his ass
Be
kicked.
vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now.
Oh, fuck.
Albert's tongue was torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly, and he was blinded in one eye, or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Oh, fuck.
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused.
I think I know about what happened to him on that little outing. I think they might have had a little bit of predator play with his brother there, and it might have got a bit out of hand. I think the bitch might have ate his fucking eyeball. Well, as I had an accident, right? Two fellas brought me back. Could you describe them? Did you ever talk about, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly? Yes. We'll pick one of these next time, because, boy. Anyway, yeah. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you want. Share it if you can. And do what you want. Shit is dark out of nowhere. And I love it.